So thank you very much. So as Bob said, my name's Louise Mackenzie. I've been with the company for 2.5 years. So my background was in hairdressing. I owned a little log cabin salon in my back garden. It was perfect, fitted beautifully around my 3 children. My partner was a senior quantity surveyor commuting in and out of Birmingham, so it worked really, really well. And it was when one of my regular hair clients came in, and she just looked amazing. And I said, "What are you doing? You look fab." And she was telling me all about the aloe drinking gel. But she wasn't trying to sell it to me. She was purely just passionate about the products. So firstly, I said I needed some of them for myself, because having just had given birth to Miller, our youngest, I needed something else. So I started taking the products, became really passionate, and just built up a retail business. I had no idea what Forever was about, no idea about multi-level marketing, and I got added onto lots of Facebook pages, and I just had no idea what was going on. But I could see the success in front of me. I couldn't deny that, obviously, whatever it was doing, it was working. So I started telling people about the business opportunity just as passionately as I did about the products, and I started building myself a team. Nicola Liggins said to me, "Louise, you really need to come and have a look at this marketing plan." And I said, "I haven't got time. I've got 3 children. Don't you know what it's like to have 3 children?" And she said, "Well, you're doing the business anyway, so you either do it with structure and understand what you're doing, or just carry on what you're doing." So I got in front of her, and I had that, what we call the light bulb moment. So I totally got it, and I thought I could do this. I came back to Steve, and I was very excited, and he said, "All right, love." And I was like, okay, it wasn't quite the feeling that I had about it. So I decided to carry on with it anyway. Steve just left me to it. You know, it's one of these little things. I'd had plenty of ideas in the past about what I wanted to do. And the success started growing, the team started growing, and you know, it was just happening all around us, this buzz and this vibe, and we just loved it. So what it's done for us is we have just created a huge team of successful individuals, and that makes me really, really proud that they're all total leaders in their own right. For us as a family, you know, we no longer live that kind of rat race lifestyle that we had. We're both at home working Forever full-time. I'm more front of house. Steve does facts and figures and case credits. I can count to 120, and then he does anything beyond that. So it works out really, really well. We live in a beautiful house, drive cars, nice cars. Our 3 children go to private school. But that's not what it is about for us. You know, what it's about is seeing what it's doing for the people in the team. And I know that sounds a bit cliche, but it's genuine. So I struggled I had goals, but I felt very selfish for these goals. I had cars and houses and things, and I felt really bad to share that with people, what I wanted. But I found it really hard to connect to an emotional why. People used to always say, you need a why that makes you cry in order to be successful in Forever. And I used to try and force the tears, thinking, it makes me cry, and it doesn't. I was kidding myself. And then it was when I started building a team, their whys made me cry massively. I can't even look at some of them in the audience. And when I opened that diary and I had a planning meeting with someone or a meeting with someone else, I know each of their whys, and that really does drive me to get out of bed every day and do my business, because it's so easy to kind of think you're not going to bother, you're going to take a day off. So work it for your team, you know, and really get there for your team. We've worked consistently, really, really hard. You can vouch for me on that one. I worked really hard to earn my first ever bonus, which was £90 a month. I worked really hard to earn my second bonus, which was £200 a month, and we're now earning 100 times more than that. But the hard work happened in the early days, you know, and I think sometimes we look at the bigger incomes and the big success stories, and we can't bridge the gap between the baby steps of delivering that bee pollen or meeting that customer with what we really, really want. You've got to bridge it, because that's what gets you to where you want to go. It's really important to not compare yourself to anybody, and that is so easy in this business. And I think Facebook is a fabulous tool, but get your inspiration from people, but there's a fine line between being inspired and comparing yourself. If it starts tipping over to comparison, stop, because that will do self-sabotage and you can't do it. You really need to work this business for you, your team, and your family. Everything else should just be inspiration and nothing else. So my top tips for this business. I did put a little post on Facebook, and there was a whole long list of questions, but I won't obviously hog the stage. But my top tips for the business are massively focus yourself and your team on creating a retail business. And it's something that we all massively overlook, and actually that's what gives people that instant income. That's what gets people that stick in your business. So again, it's bridging that gap between seeing people on our higher income and not forgetting those tiny baby steps that we need to take in between. Hugely, hugely celebrate the 4 case credits. That's what we're doing. You know, we're striving to do 4 case credits and more. Really simplify it. Again, just don't overcomplicate anything. Take the time to explain it to your partner and your family. Steve didn't understand the business, and I couldn't be bothered to explain it to him. And then I blamed him for not understanding what I was doing. So if you can explain it to him, take that time to sit them down just like you would a prospect, just like you would someone that you want them to know. And also, partners, take the time to sit and listen to what the women are telling you as well, and the other way around. So obviously, make time and dated goals. Know what it is you're working for. Know your time scale. I had Sapphire as my goal after 3 months of being in the business, and I hit it to the month that I wanted to achieve it. So make sure you have that time and dated. Really do have your emotional whys. Like I said, even if it is those team whys, get those emotional connections. Really have a strong work ethic. You know, a strong work ethic to people is lots of different things, but be honest with yourself. Don't tell yourself you're working really hard if you're really not, because that might be why the results aren't happening for you. And also appreciate we all want different things. Genuinely put your team before yourself. And that is huge. That is massive. You need to put your team, because your team is your business. You need to put your business before yourself and your own personal, what you want from it. Focus on activity. I've always focused on what's in the diary. You know, don't look at those results. Just focus on the activity, because the results come anyway. I still go into coffee shops and meet people for one-to-ones and they don't turn up. In Forever, I'm a Sapphire manager, but out there with the rest of the world, I'm nothing. They don't know. I've still got to go and do a one-to-one and still meet someone and bring them in at the bottom. So never, ever forget that, and always realize that we're all doing the same. So, of course, thank yous. My 9 managers are just incredible. They make my job easy. They really, really do. They have all become leaders in their own right, and it is something I've massively pushed to have. So they are all leaders in their own right. I can't name them individually because I can see them and we'll all be blubbing and it'll just be a wreck. So, you know, they are all total diamonds in the making, and they are all leaders in their own rights, and they all instill that into their teams as well. Obviously, all the Forever leaders, you can spot them in the audience, because of you guys, you've put the stepping stones into place. We couldn't do this without you. So you've done that hard work, and we've just jumped on the path and kind of ran with it. Obviously, Rex, sometimes we forget to thank Rex, and Rex Morn is an incredible man, and it's only when you get to go to Eagle, so aim for Eagle, you get to look in his eyes, and he genuinely loves hearing the stories about what you're doing with your life, what your children are doing, and he loves the fact that he knows he pays us too much. He really enjoys that, and to other people, they might think it's too good to be true. Yeah, it is, and he enjoys it. He loves doing it. I want to thank Bob on behalf of myself and all my team, because you really do keep us sane, and I know we drive you mad. Gemma Davis for introducing me into this fantastic business, and she's created a ripple effect for thousands of people to be able to do the business. Nicola and Ian Liggins, I know Nicola is rushing down the motorway somewhere, and I think she's missed it, but they are my absolute rocks. They are rocks to myself and Steve. They have become a huge part in my life, and they know exactly how to pick me up from where I'm at, be it emotional support for myself and Steve, or business goal target driven. So that's another key point for your team, pick them up where they're at. We've had many highs in the business, but we've also had some really serious lows, and I think you need someone that you can turn to and rely on in the business as well. And of course, Steve and my children, because they have put up with me. sometimes being a diva, sometimes being a complete pain in the arse, generally doubting myself, not knowing if I was doing the right thing, the wrong thing, how I was doing it. But they just stood there, solid, waiting for me just to figure out where it was we were going and what we were doing. And they've just massively been my rocks. So thank you for turning off Netflix whilst we have to do our webinars. The team appreciate it. So the goal was always Sapphire. The goal now is Diamond, because we're all doing the same. We're all doing the one-to-ones, we're all doing the 4CCs, so why not? If you're working the business every day, all of you out there that have achieved supervisor, assistant manager, manager, it's all the same thing. So just aim for Diamond, just keep working your business and enjoy it. Thank you very much.